Beloved, wherever you are tuning in from right now, whether it's morning, noon, or night, hear me clearly. This moment is not an accident. You have been summoned by the Spirit of the living God. Heaven has strategically aligned your steps so you could hear this before the 25th of November. Congratulations. Because when God chooses you to hear something early, it means he is preparing to move you ahead of time. He is shifting you into a divine timetable that others will only recognize after the manifestation takes place. There are moments in your life when God interrupts the usual flow of things to give you a prophetic alert, a spiritual notification that heaven is about to release something into your life. And I declare over you right now, you are standing at the threshold of one of those moments. This is not a casual broadcast. This is not a random encounter. This is a divine appointment. This lift, this other. God saw your battles, your delays, your silent tears, your hidden warfare, your midnight wrestlings. And he said, before the 25th of November arrives, my child must hear my voice. Because when God speaks ahead of time, he is preparing you to step ahead of the enemy, ahead of old cycles, ahead of every plot, plan, and scheme that was designed to sabotage your destiny. Heaven is releasing information that will put you in position, granting you spiritual clearance to enter a season others are not yet qualified for. You're not late, you're early. You're not behind, you're ahead. You're not forgotten. You've been handpicked, set apart, and marked for an encounter that carries the capacity to shift your entire trajectory. Congratulations, because the fact that you are hearing this means you survived things that should have broken you. You outlasted storms that were meant to drown you. You endured fires that were designed to consume you. But instead of burning, you're emerging purified, fortified, and positioned for divine elevation. Heaven has looked in your direction, and God has chosen you to receive this word before the 25th of November because something is about to explode in your life. Something heaven has scheduled that hell cannot stop. Get ready, because today we are not praying average prayers. We are praying destiny, activating, cycle-breaking, atmosphere-shifting prayers. We are releasing decrees that will realign your life, your family, your finances, and your future. You're stepping into a window of prophetic timing where what was withheld will be restored, what was delayed will be accelerated, and what was impossible will suddenly be made possible. Congratulations, because you are about to hear what heaven has written concerning you. There's a moment in your life when God interrupts the ordinary rhythm of your days to whisper something that carries the weight of destiny. This is one of those moments. When God chooses someone to hear a specific word ahead of time, it is never casual, never coincidental, never random. It is a sign of divine orchestration, heavenly timing, and supernatural intention. You are not here by accident. You have been divinely selected, handpicked by God to receive something that others will only discern later. Before the 25th of November arrives, God is positioning you, aligning you, preparing you for a spiritual shift that requires advance notice, because what is coming carries too much weight for you to walk into it unprepared. There are times when God accelerates revelation because he intends to accelerate your life. He releases insight ahead of time because he is about to release breakthrough ahead of schedule. When heaven releases an early word, it means that something in the unseen realm has already begun to move on your behalf. God gives early access to those he trusts, those he has marked, those he is getting ready to elevate into a season that demands preparation. And if you are hearing this now, it means heaven has you on its priority list. Your name has been spoken in the courts of glory, and the timing of your next level has been activated. Before every major shift in Scripture, God warned, revealed, instructed, or whispered to his chosen ones ahead of time. Noah heard about the rain before it came. Joseph saw the famine before it arrived. Daniel discerned the interpretation before the king spoke the dream. Mary received the angelic announcement before she carried destiny in her womb. When God unveils something early, it means the person receiving the revelation has a role to play, a responsibility to fulfill, a position to take. God is positioning you strategically because the shift coming after the 25th of November is not something you will stumble into. It is something you will step into with clarity, authority, and readiness. You are being positioned not only spiritually, but mentally, emotionally, and even relationally. There are alignments God is preparing, connections he is resetting, distractions he is clearing, and protections he is establishing around you. When God positions someone, he doesn't just move them, he fortifies them, he establishes them, he shields them, and he sets them in place the way a master builder places a cornerstone, with precision and purpose. In this moment, you are being repositioned for what is about to unfold. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are at the center of divine strategy. This early message is also a sign that heaven has shifted the conversation about you. Things that were once delayed are now being accelerated. Places where you felt stagnant are now being stirred. The ground beneath you is moving because the season ahead of you is changing. Some doors that were closed are being unlocked. Some prayers that seemed unanswered are being revisited. Some promises you thought were dormant are waking up again because the timing connected to them has shifted. God is preparing you not only to walk into what he has promised, but to walk into it with the right posture, the right strength, and the right mindset. To be chosen to hear something early means God trusts you with revelation, and revelation always comes with responsibility. Heaven does not waste divine intelligence. God does not reveal what he is not ready to perform, and he does not perform what you are not prepared to receive. This is why he is speaking to you before the 25th of November, so you do not walk into the next season unaware, unequipped, or uncertain. He is giving you time to align your spirit, sharpen your discernment, quiet your environment, and elevate your faith. Because the magnitude of what is coming requires your participation. You are not a spectator in this shift. You are a vessel through which God will manifest his intention. This divine selection is also a sign that you are favored. Favor is not just blessing. Favor is access. Favor is timing. Favor is hearing what others cannot hear yet, seeing what others will only understand later. Favor is being brought into spiritual rooms before the door opens physically. Favor is insight before impact. God is giving you a head start, a spiritual advantage point, because the next chapter of your life carries influence, authority, and visibility you will need to be prepared for. Heaven is not just speaking to you, heaven is preparing to reveal you. Being chosen ahead of time also means God sees something in you that others may have overlooked. He sees resilience in you that you may not have credited yourself for. He sees faith in you that you may not realize has grown. He sees endurance, purity of heart, consistency, integrity, and the ability to carry weight without breaking. God does not position fragile vessels for heavy assignments. If he is positioning you early, it means he has already tested you in secret, watched your faithfulness in silence, examined your loyalty in hidden battles, and now deems you trustworthy for what comes next. Before the 25th of November, God intends to shift something in your atmosphere, your relationships, your finances, your spiritual sight, or your internal identity. And this shift requires advance notice because you must step into it consciously, not accidentally. You must partner with what God is doing, not react to it. Early revelation is an invitation to alignment, and alignment precedes acceleration. As you hear this word, something inside you is being tuned, adjusted, calibrated to heaven's frequency, so you will recognize the move. of God when it arrives. Even now, spiritually, there is a stirring, a quickening, a pulling that indicates heaven is making preparation for you. This is not just God positioning you, it is God ushering you into divine timing. Timing is everything in the kingdom. A blessing outside of timing is a burden. A door outside of timing is a distraction. But when God positions you at the right time, nothing can block, delay, or sabotage what He has ordained. This is why He is speaking before the 25th, because the blessing connected to that time requires precision. Heaven is synchronizing your steps with the season that is approaching, ensuring that nothing in you is misaligned when the shift takes place. You have been chosen for this moment. And the fact that you are hearing this ahead of time is proof that heaven is moving your name to the front of the line, placing your destiny on the agenda, and preparing you for a shift that will make sense only when it manifests. There are seasons when God pulls you into a dimension of revelation that others are not yet permitted to enter. When God reveals something to you before others can see it, it means He is giving you a spiritual advantage, a divine head start that positions you beyond the reach of the enemy and ahead of the patterns that once held you back. This is not simply insight. This is spiritual elevation. God is allowing you to see what others cannot perceive yet, because what He is about to do in your life requires awareness, preparation, and discernment. When heaven entrusts you with revelation ahead of time, it means heaven is preparing to do something uncommon with you. It means you are being trained, positioned, and awakened for a move that others will only understand in hindsight. There are mysteries God reveals to those who walk closely with Him, and you are being brought into the secret place where instructions are whispered, strategies are imparted, and warnings are released. God is not only showing you what is coming, He is protecting you from what was trying to repeat itself. Some cycles were preparing to reappear, wearing new disguises, but carrying old intentions. But the revelation arriving to you now is breaking their power. When God reveals, He rescues. When He exposes, He prevents. When He illuminates, He empowers. He is placing you ahead of the old cycles that used to sabotage you. Cycles of doubt, cycles of delay, cycles of distraction, cycles of emotional instability, cycles of wrong connections and unhealthy decisions. What once trapped you will no longer have that power, because you now have sight where you once had blindness. Revelation is not just information, it is elevation. And when God elevates you through revelation, He brings you into a vantage point where you can see the enemy's plan before it unfolds. You begin to discern the traps that were tailored to your weaknesses, the distractions aimed at your focus, and the assignments designed to pull you out of alignment. But now, because you have been revealed and awakened, those traps lose their power. What once ensnared you will be exposed before you step into it. What once tricked you will now be discerned. What once delayed you will now be identified as an obstruction. God is placing you ahead, not just to bless you, but to protect you from returning to old patterns that never suited the version of you He is raising up. When God reveals something ahead of time, it is also a sign that your promise is closer than it appears. Delayed promises sometimes create the illusion that God has forgotten, but in truth, delayed does not mean denied. Delayed often means protected, preserved, or being prepared for the appointed time. God is revealing now because the appointed time is drawing near. There were promises spoken over your life, prayers you have forgotten, but heaven has not. Desires buried under disappointment, dreams tucked away because life grew heavy. But just because you placed them aside does not mean God did. Heaven kept them alive, and now God is breathing on them again. The revelation you are receiving is a sign that the promise is waking up, accelerating, moving toward manifestation. Others may not understand what you are sensing, seeing, or perceiving in this season, because revelation always arrives before manifestation. People only understand once they see the evidence, but God speaks to you when the evidence is still invisible. That is why you must not be moved by the opinions of others. They cannot comprehend a revelation that was not assigned to them. They cannot interpret a vision they were not given. They cannot understand a shift they were not positioned for. God is speaking to you because the next phase is personal. It is tied to your assignment, your calling, your development, your growth. The revelation is tailored for you, not for them. This revelation is also a sign of spiritual maturity. God does not speak deeply to those who refuse to listen. He does not reveal secrets to those who resist his direction. But you have reached a point where your faithfulness, your battles, your tears, your persistence, and your hunger have created spiritual capacity. God speaks ahead to those who have learned to trust him in the dark, to those who obey even when it costs something, to those who stand firm even when circumstances shake. You are being entrusted with what others will learn later because you have proven that you can be trusted with insight, direction, and instruction. Revelation is preparation, and you are being prepared for a new season where clarity will matter more than comfort. You are stepping into a time when discernment will be your shield, sensitivity your steering, and spiritual awareness your strength. God is unveiling things not to overwhelm you, but to ready you. He is giving you foresight so you don't step into pitfalls masked as opportunities. He is warning you so you don't entertain counterfeits that mimic blessings. He is speaking early so you do not mislabel distractions as destiny. You are being trained to see from the realm of the Spirit where timing, intention, and alignment matter more than appearances. The hidden traps that were secretly assigned to your future path are now being dismantled because God is exposing them before you reach them. You will not fall into what others fall into. You will not repeat what others repeat. You will not be ensnared by what ensnares the unprepared. God is not only revealing, he is redirecting. You are being shifted away from the environments that drain you, the relationships that diminish you, the opportunities that mislead you, and the habits that weaken you. He is pulling you out of cycles because cycles cannot contain your calling. Cycles keep you busy but not productive, active but not advancing, moving but not progressing. But revelation breaks cycles by exposing what you once tolerated out of ignorance. God is placing you ahead so that you can walk into the fullness of what he has ordained without the weight of past failures, the confusion of past seasons, or the fear bred by past wounds. You are being positioned ahead of every trap meant to delay your promise and every obstacle designed to exhaust your strength. Heaven is clearing your path, lifting your vision, sharpening your spirit, and aligning your steps. God is revealing because he is accelerating. He is revealing because he is releasing. He is revealing because your time has come to rise above what used to limit you. You are moving into a season where your understanding will catch up with your revelation, where what God told you privately will begin manifesting publicly, and where the things that once confused you will suddenly make sense. Others will look back and say they see it now, but you will know that God showed you long before the evidence arrived, long before the shift was visible, long before the promise emerged. And that is because God placed you ahead, giving you revelation meant to carry you out of old cycles and into new promises. There are moments when God interrupts your normal routine, your daily rhythm, your familiar surroundings, simply to let you know that the clock of heaven has struck a new hour concerning you. Hearing this message now is not casual. It is a spiritual indicator, a prophetic sign that something in the unseen realm has shifted. When heaven authorizes a new season, the first thing God does is send a word. Before manifestation comes revelation. Before breakthrough comes announcement. Before intervention comes instruction. The fact that this word has found you before the moment you expected it, before the circumstances around you have changed, is proof that something has already changed in the realm of the spirit. Heaven is signaling that your season of acceleration has begun. Acceleration is not simply movement. It is movement with supernatural force. It is God taking what should have taken years and compressing it into months, what should have taken months and compressing it into days, and what should have taken days and compressing it into moments. Acceleration does not follow natural laws. It follows divine timing. When heaven authorizes acceleration, obstacles that once stood immovable begin to crumble, doors that were stubborn begin to open, and resistance that once felt overwhelming begins to weaken. You are stepping into a time where God himself becomes your momentum, where what you could not push forward begins to push itself forward by divine backing. Hearing this word now means God is preparing to accelerate your life, your purpose, your progress, your healing, your finances, and even your spiritual maturity. Breakthrough is also embedded within this timing. Breakthrough means breaking into something new, breaking out of something old, and breaking away from something that has overstayed its season. Breakthrough is not random. It is authorized. It is heaven deciding that enough is enough, that your struggle has served its purpose, that your wilderness has fulfilled its function. When God authorizes breakthrough, he does not consult your past. He consults his intention. He does not measure your worthiness. He measures his promise. He does not look at your limitations. He looks at his covenant. The fact that you are hearing this now means breakthrough is no longer pending. It is active, alive, moving toward you with unstoppable force. Divine intervention means God is stepping into places where your strength was not enough, where your resources were insufficient, where your understanding reached its limit. Intervention is heaven saying, stand back and watch me work. It is God inserting himself into situations that were too complicated, too heavy, too tangled for you to navigate alone. Intervention does not mean you failed. It means you are loved. It means God refuses to let you carry battles that belong to him. Hearing this message now means God is intervening behind the scenes, touching hearts, shifting circumstances, exposing wrong motives, aligning opportunities, and clearing paths that were once obstructed. He is moving for you in places you cannot see, and the results will appear suddenly as if out of nowhere. When heaven authorizes a new season, there is often no warning in the natural. People around you may not see it, your situation may not reflect it, your feelings may not feel it, but your spirit recognizes it. Something inside you becomes awakened, sensitive, alert. You begin to feel an inner stirring, a sense that change is not coming. It has already begun. Hearing this word is confirmation of that stirring. It is God validating what your spirit already knew, but your mind had not yet articulated. The timing of this message is divine because heaven speaks at the moment things shift in the spirit, not when the evidence becomes visible on earth. This kind of timing is a gift. Not everyone hears the signal when heaven shifts. Not everyone senses the change in season. Some people move blindly, unaware of the divine momentum surrounding them. But the fact that you are hearing this now means God is giving you awareness so you can agree with what he is doing, align with what he is unfolding, and anticipate what he is releasing. Awareness creates readiness. Readiness creates participation. Participation creates breakthrough. You are not meant to watch this season unfold passively. You are meant to enter it actively, with expectation, with boldness, with faith sharpened, and heart awakened. Acceleration also means recovery. Time you thought was lost will be restored. Opportunities that seemed gone will reemerge in better form. Relationships that were broken may be healed or replaced with something healthier. Energy you lost through warfare will be replenished. Strength you poured out in battles will be renewed. Acceleration does not just push you forward, it pulls back everything that was stolen, delayed, or buried. Hearing this now means restoration has been authorized and nothing hell attempted to steal will remain missing. You will recover mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and relationally. Breakthrough also means the end of resistance. The enemy can resist you only until heaven issues a decree. Once God declares a new season, the enemy cannot prolong the one you were in. No opposition can override divine timing. No delay tactic can cancel a heavenly order. No spiritual attack can withstand a shift authorized by God. When breakthrough is commanded, the warfare breaks, the pressure lifts, the confusion clears, and the environment around you begins to rearrange itself. Everything that once resisted you begins to yield. Everything that once opposed you begins to bow. Everything that once hindered you begins to release its grip. Intervention means God is not asking you to fight this next battle alone. He is stepping into the courtroom, stepping into the conversation, stepping into the negotiation, stepping into the sickness, stepping into the decision, stepping into the future, stepping into the unknown. Intervention means you will see results that exceed your effort. You will witness outcomes that you did not engineer. You will receive answers that you did not manipulate. You will experience victories that do not make sense based on your resources, but make perfect sense based on God's involvement. Hearing this now also means heaven has accelerated your timeline. The season you are entering will not follow the pace of your past. Things that were slow will become swift. Things that were complicated will become simple. Things that were blocked will become accessible. Things that were confusing will become clear. Things that were stagnant will begin to move again. This is not ordinary time. This is appointed time. Appointed time does not operate according to calendars, but according to heaven's schedule. The reason God is telling you this ahead of manifestation is because he wants your faith to rise to the level of what he is releasing. Faith is the entry point of divine intervention. Faith is the fuel of acceleration. Faith is the door to breakthrough. God is not asking you to manufacture faith. He is giving you revelation that builds faith. This message is part of the preparation, part of the equipping, part of the activation. Heaven is pulling you into alignment with a divine move that has already begun. You are hearing this now because heaven has opened the chapter that belongs to breakthrough, acceleration, and intervention in your life. Things may not look different yet, but they will. Life may feel familiar, but it will shift. Circumstances may appear unchanged, but they are already bending under the weight of God's intention. This word is your sign that the new season is not coming. It has already been authorized. There are seasons in life when the battles you survived were not just struggles. They were indicators of divine selection. Your survival alone is proof that heaven has invested something in you that hell could not destroy. Every time life tried to take you out, through disappointment, betrayal, confusion, loss, delays, or spiritual warfare, something in you refused to quit. Something in you kept fighting, kept praying, kept hoping, kept believing. That something is the signature of God on your life. That resilience is the mark of someone chosen. The fact that you're still standing, still listening, still reaching for God, still pushing through, is evidence that heaven has been guarding your destiny, even in the moments when you felt forgotten. Your journey has not been random. It has been a training ground. The hardships shaped you. The pressure refined you. The darkness taught you how to see the light. The delays taught you endurance. The silence taught you discernment. The pain taught you purpose. And all of it has been preparing you for a season of supernatural elevation. Elevation does not come to the fragile, it comes to the forged. It comes to those who have been processed, stretched, tested, and refined. Heaven does not elevate those who avoid battles. Heaven elevates those who survive them. Your resilience has been the qualification for what God is about to release over your life. Your faith is what carried you when strength failed. It was your faith that whispered, just hold on a little longer when everything around you was telling you to give up. Faith kept you walking when nothing made sense. Faith kept you believing when the evidence contradicted the promise. Faith kept your heart tender when disappointment tried to harden it. God saw that faith, heaven recorded that faith, and now heaven is responding to that faith. This word you are hearing is not just encouragement. It is confirmation. It is God acknowledging the journey you've walked, the battles you've endured, the storms you've survived, and declaring that the next chapter has already begun unfolding behind the scenes. Supernatural elevation does not begin with visibility. It begins with preparation. Before God elevates you publicly, he strengthens you privately. Before he reveals you to others, he reveals things to you. Before he opens doors, he fortifies your foundation. Every situation that tried to break you actually built something in you. Every loss increased your spiritual weight. Every challenge sharpened your discernment. Every trial developed your authority. You did not just survive, you grew, you matured, you were transformed, and now that transformation has positioned you for movement you don't have to manufacture. God himself is elevating you, not because of your comfort, but because of your capacity. You have become someone he can trust with influence, responsibility, and breakthrough. Supernatural elevation means God is lifting you to places your past tried to convince you were unreachable. It means he is shifting you into opportunities that others thought you were not qualified for. It means he is positioning you in rooms where your voice will matter, your presence will carry weight, and your purpose will be activated. Elevation is not about fame. It is about function. It is about stepping into the version of yourself that God always intended. More important, it is about walking in authority, clarity, and purpose that the earlier version of you could not hold. You have been stretched into someone who can handle what is coming. This word is also the sign that your next chapter is already unfolding, even if you cannot see it yet. God begins chapters in the invisible realm before they manifest in the visible one. He shifts timelines, rewrites stories, closes doors, opens spiritual pathways, and rearranges destinies long before you step into the evidence. You may feel like life looks the same, but the spiritual atmosphere around you has already changed. Things are aligning in your favor. People are being moved around. Opportunities are being prepared. Obstacles are being dismantled. Paths are being made straight. You are not waiting for the next chapter. You are walking into what heaven has already written. Your next chapter is not reactive. It is strategic. It is not based on who left you, what hurt you, or what you lost. It is based on who you have become and who God is calling you to be. Your wounds did not disqualify you. They deepened you. Your mistakes did not derail you. They redirected you. Your delays did not deny you. They prepared you. And now everything you endured is about to serve your elevation. The next chapter of your life is not built on the ashes of what fell apart, but on the strength of what survived the fire. Your resilience is evidence that you carry a destiny bigger than the warfare you faced. The enemy fought you so intensely because of the magnitude of what is attached to your life. The pressure was great because your influence will be greater. The attacks were fierce because your assignment is fierce. The pain was deep because your impact will be deep. Heaven is elevating you not just because you survived, but because you survived without losing your heart, your calling, or your faith. You came out wiser, stronger, clearer, purer, and more spiritually aligned. Supernatural elevation also means God is about to do for you what you could not do for yourself. He is about to open doors that your effort could not unlock. He is about to bring opportunities that your connections could not produce. He is about to send resources that your current situation could not access. He is about to orchestrate encounters that your planning could not arrange. When God elevates, nothing and no one can stop it. What is meant for you will reach you. What is destined for you will find you. What is written for you will manifest for you. You hearing this message now means the elevation has already started. You may not feel elevated, but elevation starts in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. You may not see the details, but heaven has already activated the process. It may appear small now, but seeds always appear small before they grow. Your next chapter is unfolding quietly, silently, divinely, and suddenly it will break into your reality in ways that astonish you and everyone connected to you. Your survival was not accidental. Your resilience was not weakness. Your faith was not wasted. Every moment of endurance has been a stepping stone to the season you are entering. And this word is heaven's confirmation that what you have walked through has been preparing you for a supernatural elevation that nothing and no one can hinder.